Ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros, let's talk about things that frugal people refuse to buy. But instead of me doing the normal spiel and telling you physical things that frugal people don't buy, like I don't buy paper towels, and the crowd going wild, let's talk about figurative things that frugal people refuse to buy, ideas that society tries to sell us. Because frugality is more about mindset than it is about possessions. And so in this video, I'm going to talk about 12 figurative things that frugal people refuse to buy. And the first thing is internal problems can be solved by external possessions. If you are a human being watching this, and I'm sure you are, you have a lot of internal problems. I mean, you probably have childhood traumas. You're addicted to something, and you're unhappy of where you're at in life. Life is hard, ladies and gentlemen, and from what I'm gathering, it just gets harder and harder as you keep going through it. But we all have internal problems that we want to solve, and how does society tell us that we can solve our problems? Well, by buying external possessions. That's right. Society tells us that we can solve our internal problems by buying external possessions. That is, as they say in England, complete and utter nonsense. Pish posh holly wash. And frugal people refuse to buy that idea and find other ways to solve their problems. The second thing is it's okay to live large if you have the means. Now, frugality is about living a simple life with basic possessions, and some people might say, I can afford to live large. And although that seems like a logical thing to say, the problem with living large is that it creates a lot of problems that harm both people around the world and environments around the world. I mean, a couple months ago, I was in the extremely biodiverse country of Costa Rica, and I entered this area of the country where I was driving for miles and miles. And there were lines of palm trees that are used to create many of the products that we all use, but it deforested the natural ecosystem. Whether we see it or not, there are a lot of consequences that come with our abundant lifestyles, and frugality isn't just about saving money, but it's about living a sustainable life that minimizes these harms. Now, the third thing is money is complicated. Now, many people are in bad financial situations because they never take the time to take control over their finances. And why don't they do that? Well, because society has tricked us into thinking that money is really complicated with credit scores, complex investment terms, and debt. Many people are in bad financial situations because society has tricked them into thinking that money is too complicated to get right. However, money is actually extremely simple. If you want to be in a good financial situation, all you have to do is spend less than you earn and save and invest the difference. And frugal people refuse to buy this idea that money is complicated and simply spend less than they earn and save and invest the difference. Now, the fourth thing is debt is unavoidable. Another idea that society has tricked us into believing is thinking that in order to have a good quality of life, you must take on debt. In order to have a car, you need a car loan. In order to get clothes, you need to use a credit card. And in order to get a good career, you need to take on student loans. Many people think that debt is unavoidable, but the truth is you can have everything you want in life and still avoid debt. All you have to do is either save up until you can afford it or make sacrifices to be able to afford it. It's that simple. And frugal people don't buy that debt is unavoidable and avoid it. Now, the fifth thing is you need a high income to be financially comfortable. In society, there is this common belief that your financial well-being is determined by your income. And nowadays, many people think that you have to make a very high income to be financially comfortable. I mean, going as far as saying that making $100,000 isn't enough money to afford the American dream. However, the truth is what determines your financial well-being is not your income, but it is your spending. And if you are conscious of your spending and keep your expenses low, you can be comfortable financially while making an average income, which is exactly what frugal people do. They don't buy that you need to make a high income to be comfortable financially. Now, the sixth thing is men in suits have more control of your personal finances than you do. So many people never get ahead in life because they think that their personal financial situation is determined by men in suits, i.e., these people. And I don't want to come across as sexist, so let me say that people also think that women in suits determine their financial future, or whatever you call this outfit. But seriously, so many people never get ahead in life because they think that their financial fate is determined by whether the man in the suit is wearing a blue tie or a red tie. But the truth about personal finance is that it's personal. If you make the right personal decisions to get in a better financial situation, it won't matter what color tie the man in the suit is wearing. And the truth is, as they said in South Park, you're either voting for a giant douche or a turd sandwich. So vote turd sandwich this November. Now, the seventh thing is being uncomfortable is a bad thing. Now, society tries to make us believe that being uncomfortable is a bad thing, which causes us to spend so much money to try to avoid being uncomfortable. But being uncomfortable isn't a bad thing. Actually, being uncomfortable is the only way to actually enjoy comfort. For example, imagine it's a hot day and you're uncomfortable outside. Then you walk inside to the air conditioning. You will have this deep appreciation of no longer being in the heat. Versus if you stay inside all day, you are numb to the comfort. Being uncomfortable is actually vital to enjoying comfort, and frugal people don't buy that we need to avoid uncomfort and spend so much money to be comfortable at all times. Now, the next thing is saving money means saving money. A common misconception about frugality is that it is about finding deals, clipping coupons, and seeking sales because that's saving money. However, that's not actually how frugal people save money. They save money by not spending it. These ways to save money that companies advertise to us are simply just marketing strategies to try to get us to spend more money. And frugal people refuse to buy the idea that seeking deals and sales means that you are saving money, and instead save money the old-fashioned way by not spending it. Now, the next thing is credit scores measure financial well-being. When it comes to credit scores, many people make the mistake of thinking that their credit score measures their financial well-being. And the higher their score, the better their financial well-being. But a credit score is not a measure of your financial well-being, but it's a measure of your likeliness to pay off debt. And just because you have a good credit score doesn't mean you're in a good financial situation. And frugal people refuse to buy this idea that your credit score measures your financial well-being, and instead focus on real indicators that determine financial well-being, like being debt-free, having an emergency fund, and assets making them money. Now, the 10th thing that frugal people don't buy is that it's okay to make payments on a depreciating asset. In my last video, and I'll do it this time, I spoke about how the average payment for a new car is $735 and for a used car is $523. And in the comment section of that video, somebody commented something brilliant on why they avoid car payments. They said, "I refuse to make payments on a depreciating asset." And that is just so well said. I mean, why would you choose to make payments on something that is losing value every single month, a depreciating asset like a car? And frugal people refuse to buy the idea that it is okay to make payments on depreciating assets like cars, and instead to choose to buy them outright. Now, the 11th thing is what kind of car you drive matters. Now, to continue on this subject of cars, many people choose to spend so much money on their cars because they're status symbols and they show the world who they are. Pickup trucks show the world how masculine you are. Mercedes show the world how successful you are. And Teslas show the world how much you care about the environment. In the United States, we have this idea that what car you drive matters because they show the world your identity, and we end up going in so much debt over our car. However, frugal people don't buy this idea and instead just choose to get an affordable car that takes them from point A to point B. Now, the final thing that frugal people don't buy is paper towels. Let's face it, ladies and gentlemen, no do not buy video is complete without talking about the devil's toilet paper, or as it's more commonly known as, paper towels. Why do people buy paper towels? You don't need paper towels, that is, unless, of course, you're making bacon or cooking with grease. You don't need paper towels, ladies and gentlemen, and the crowd goes wild. I know what you guys want, but those are the 12 figurative things that frugal people refuse to buy. And with that, muchas gracias, que tengan un buen día, nos vemos chicos.